My name's Joey DeFrancesco. I worked in the Providence Renaissance Hotel for about 3.5 years. This was my day. I got up at 4:30 a.m. to be at work at 5:30 a.m. dressed in uniform and ready to go. I worked in room service, so I was on my feet all day, usually till around 3:30 p.m. Sometimes much longer if I had to work a double. Sometimes I would work the entire shift on 2 or 3 hours of sleep because they had made me work the previous night until midnight. I'd spend all day bussing, cleaning, carrying heavy trays, serving food to unappreciative, entitled guests, burning my hands on dangerous sterno cartridges, and so on. Now, for all this, I was paid $5.50 an hour plus tips. The tipping system in room service, though, was literally illegal and a scam. This is how it worked. So we get a service charge and additional gratuity in room service. But each room service shift would be 2 people. It would be a runner, me, and a supervisor. The supervisor would never interact with the guests. They would answer phones, they would help set up the trays a little bit, do paperwork, but never actually interact with the guests. So they're doing the same or less work than us, and they were making twice the amount of money. So $10, $11, $12 an hour in some cases, but they're still making half of our tips. Now these supervisors had all typical managerial functions. They could make the schedule, they could hire and fire, they could punish, really everything that you would define a manager by, yet they were taking half our tips. It's no coincidence that the manager in room service who came up with this system was best friends with the food and beverage manager when they made up the room service tipping system. So things were much better elsewhere in the hotel. In housekeeping, for example, people were cleaning 15, 16, sometimes more rooms a day, over 8 or 9 hours. And I don't think a lot of people realize how hard this job is physically, but you're lifting really heavy beds, heavy duvets, you're dealing with a lot of disgusting materials that guests leave. You're on your hands and knees scrubbing floors, bathrooms with really harsh chemicals. People get injured a lot. And when people get injured, the company often just sends them to company-approved doctors who then make them go back to work before they're actually ready, and they injure themselves again. So this was a constant problem in the hotel, people getting hurt. And these are people with families having to take care of kids whose income is solely supporting his family, but the hotel is injuring over and over again. Same kind of deal in the restaurant. Just to give one kind of story to illustrate things, I had a good friend who was a server in the restaurant who was having a baby with her husband. Now, the hotel did not care about this at all, and they're scheduling her when she was very pregnant, many months pregnant, to open the restaurant by herself. So she'd come in at 6 a.m. and have to set everything up, move heavy tables, heavy stools, and the salaried manager would not come in until 7 or 8 a.m. They'd have the pregnant woman set everything up and then come in after it was all over. Not only that, this woman, after she was working until she was 7 months pregnant or something like that, eventually had to leave to go on medical leave to have the baby and care for the baby, and went out slightly too long on her medical leave. And so when she came back, they said, "Oh, we don't actually have a job for you anymore. You need to find a new job." And so that's the thanks she got for working while pregnant for many months, is when she actually came back, they told her to go to the door. You know, I think this is really just disgusting treatment. You know, you can talk about how businesses need to do whatever to stay afloat, but that's really inhuman treatment. Now, we organized a union, we were organizing the hotel to fix many of these things, and we really won many victories. We got raises across the board, new uniforms, all this, but the hotel still refuses to acknowledge the union and is actually still conducting a pretty vicious anti-union campaign. The general manager, Angelo, holds these captive audience meetings pretty regularly where he'll just spread lies and fear about the union. And not only that, but they really directly target and attack pro-union people. They'll take away your shifts, they'll just hassle you all the time, and they'll even make up stories to get you fired. So that's still going on at this hotel, and really hotels throughout the country. And I could go on forever with this stuff. Chefs screaming down grown men and women every day, the racism at the front desk, and so on. But I think that's all for my video, but I encourage you to go look at the other videos on this website to see how this stuff is happening everywhere in this country right now. Thanks.